Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I've heard so many people say that this movie is going to be a retelling of the 1968 Charlton Heston movie. Don't listen to anybody who said that because this this movie is unlike any other Planet of the Apes movie you've seen. And in case you're wondering, this video there's going to be absolutely no spoilers, so don't worry. So let's get back to it. This movie really it's taking the franchise in a completely new direction. And I'm excited to see where things go. It's also a very ape-centric movie, and I'm sure you could tell that by the trailers. But see, that's part of the departure from previous Planet of the Apes movies, because Planet of the Apes, it's usually human perspective of what the apes are doing and the apes' perspective of what the humans are doing. It's this dichotomy between ape and human. You do get that in this movie, but like I said, it's very ape-centric. And while that was something I was curious to see, like, what are these different ape kingdoms? What does this new Earth look like? What's going on with these apes and different ape cultures? And how have things progressed since Caesar? After this is because this movie takes place about 300 years after the previous movie in the Matt Reeves trilogy. So those questions were there and I was curious to find out. But I feel like that may have been a little bit of a drawback. And don't get me wrong, the movie was not bad. It started off great and it had great moments throughout the movie and it ended with a bang. The ending was great. But there were a few dips along the way. There were a few dips along the journey. And I think a part of that has to do with the main character. But that's the nature of the main character. The director, Wes Ball, compared the main character, Noah, to Luke Skywalker and Frodo Baggins. He was pulled from his world, his little village, his shire, and was thrown into this adventure. He was taken from his world and thrown into this whole new other world. And by the very nature of that, he's naive, he's good-hearted, he's simple. He's like a Luke Skywalker, and he's learning throughout the story. But imagine A New Hope without a Han Solo. What I'm trying to say is the Noah character, he's very much like Luke Skywalker, but he's not charismatic like Caesar. There was no Han Solo there. So he was not charismatic like Caesar, which I don't expect him to be. But then if I think back to the older Planet of the Apes, this movie didn't have a Taylor. It didn't have a Charlton Heston. Like, he was very charismatic. A Cornelius, a Zira, It didn't, those characters were a bit more interesting. Yes, the storyline following Noah was interesting. And where he ended up, all right, I could see things going, He got a bit more interesting. I'm not saying he's a boring character, but he's just not at that level of Caesar from the Matt Reeves trilogy or Caesar from the older movies, Taylor, Cornelius, Zira. He's not at that level of charisma. Yet, we'll see how things play out in the future. Now, let's take a look at the world. We mentioned it briefly. This world is very different. We did a video talking about what the producers had to say about this movie, and they compared it to Dune and Avatar. I don't I understand what they were trying to say, especially with Avatar. It is a very different world. Like, when we were watching Avatar, it's this whole new, brand new world you're seeing. And while it's not exactly to that extent, the visuals are nice. But I think what they were trying to get to is the landscape of the Earth is completely changed. It's like, I don't know if you guys have played Horizon Zero Dawn on PlayStation. It's like that. Or like I Am Legend. The cities. There's vegetation growing on all the cities and all these really cool plains and everything. Seeing Noah's village and all that stuff. Apes walking on horses. It's a different world. A very different world. And again, it's very much like, it's kind of like the Lord of the Rings in that way, because you have Noah, he's being pulled from the Shire, and you're seeing his journey through Middle Earth. And the visuals were nice. The visuals were really nice. I have so much more to talk about this movie, but we'll stop there. I actually recorded a 30-plus minute review yesterday, and it was too long, so I'll probably upload that as a spoiler discussion. So if you guys want to get into all the spoiler talk, because I have a lot of things to say about this movie. I'm a big Planet of the Apes fan, if you can tell. So I'll get that up, and we can have some discussions in the comments. But if I were to rate this movie, I'd put it somewhere in the 7s or the 8s. 7, 8, around there. That's the ballpark. It's not a high 8, but I'd probably put low 8, 7-ish, around there. Around there, it's in that ballpark. So it's a good movie. As a movie fan, I recommend it. As a Planet of the Apes fan, yes, it's different than other Planet of the Apes movies, but I definitely do recommend it. So let me know your thoughts. If you've seen the movie, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And be on the lookout for the spoiler discussion video that I will be uploading. All right? Hope you have a great day. I'll see you. Take care. Bye-bye.